What is up, everybody? Back with some more low heat. It's weird to call these low heat, especially, when we've had the era of Jordan 1 retros. I mean, not even retros, just any colorway be hot. 5 years ago, I sound like a broken record. These would have been easily $400, probably, maybe more. We haven't had this retro since I think 2016. I missed out on those. I really kind of got back into sneakers in 2017, so I kind of missed out on all iterations of the black toe. What are we talking about? We are talking about the Air Jordan 1 Retro High OG black toe reimagined. Official colors are white, black, varsity red, and sail. Yeah, look at the box here. So this is what these, we'll see them in a second, but they're what the drawn inspiration for is this photo campaign. So they reference it here on the box. So a little bit easier one-to-one connection. Jordan in this promotional campaign prior to the Wings logo, which is now a staple, being attached to him. So early, there's the Wings logo on his jersey, but they hadn't yet moved it to there. Maybe it was a sample. Maybe they didn't know for sure they were going to put that there. Either way, they signed him, and they wanted him, part of the deal was he was going to get his own line, own gear, and they wanted him, they were shooting promo stuff with him immediately. So even before the shoes were finalized, he started the season, his rookie season, I think, in the airship, right? And then a little later out, he brought out his signature Jordan 1. But here's the underside of the box in case you're looking for legit checking. Shouldn't have to, because these are sitting for retail at retailers. You can get these at MSRP $180. So it's weird in this day and age of all these different iterations of Jordan 1s. You got the 85 cuts, which you'd think they would do for this. Sometimes you get the reimagines like these. Although, are these reimagined? I don't know. They're labeling these reimagined. Obviously, they're not a one-to-one retro of the ones that mass released. And then you got the premium, Jordan 1 black and reds that just dropped for $250, the super limited. So there's lots of different versions. Before I reveal the shoes, please like, subscribe, do all the things. It would help me out. Check out my Low Heat show. I'm going to do one soon. And so, yeah, if you want to check that out, if you want me to keep doing those, please follow, subscribe, do all the stuff. I would appreciate that. So here, what does that say? I'm not sure, but that says Michael Jordan. There's the Wings. Someone in comments, let me know. There's the box lid. You got more from this promotional campaign shoot on the paper. That's cool. I can't believe these are sitting. I can believe it, actually. I can believe it. These should not be sitting. We haven't had a retro of these since 2016. I've said it in multiple videos. If you are a fan of the Jordan 1, if you are a collector of sorts, if you're a retro collector of sorts, now is the time, while the sneaker market is down, to cop all your Jordan 1 retros, whether it be actual 85s, 94s. The whole market is down. For me, us cheap, people with a lot of money, get the retros. They are available and they're cheap. There's only... All right, we'll reveal them first, and then I'll go over all that stuff. But yeah, these are nice. I mean, really, it's just, the colorway is very nice. This is very much in the style of Jordan retros that we've grown to know over the past few years. These are not, and they come laced like they used to. These are not the 85 versions. These have more premium leather. The back heel, you can see, is a little bit more vertical, although this doesn't curve too much, but it's more in line with Jordan retros we've had the last 5 years. But yeah, they're not quite as premium. I mean, you only paid $180, whereas the 85 versions, you're paying more. You're paying $200, $220, or whatever it is. This one looks like some QC issues. I got these straight off sneakers on the drop morning, and looks like a little, it's weird. It's like It doesn't know what this leather doesn't know what it wants to be. Does it want to be shiny? Does it want to be matte? Looks like a little, is it glue there? It doesn't know if it wants to be polished leather or what. It's like they were confused. It's like they like, oh, let's add the shiny treatment. Oh, wait, no. I'm not sure. I don't get quite hung up on QC issues personally. I know I'm paying a lot of money for these things, but just like after one wear, you know, there's QC issues. You get one wear, you're scuffing these, you're scratching these, you're getting dirt on them. So I don't get too hung up on that, but I will say on these, I feel like it doesn't know what it wants to be. Does this want to be a very reflective, shiny leather, or does it want to be dull and matte? I'm not sure. This is weird. It's not quite that synthetic leather of cheap Dunks, you know, GR Dunks, that like composite leather that's just like stamp pressed leather parts together. That's like plasticky and cheap. So this is a step above that, but this is not, in my opinion, I'm not a leather expert, premium leather. Like on one hand, you get this stuff, which is a little more soft, a little more plush. You get the tumbled stuff. Actually, it is kind of similar. The mudguard, the toe cap, is actually kind of similar. But just because leather's soft doesn't mean it's good. It can be super thin, and you know, a lot of people like don't love the 85s because they're so stiff. That doesn't mean the leather's bad. It just means a thick cut of leather. Just because it's not super supple, leather can be stiff. It still can be high quality, or maybe not high quality, but like, you know what I'm saying, higher quality. So yeah, I don't know. I like these. I would, in a vacuum, I'd prefer the Wings logo, but I know what they're doing here. I can respect it. I can appreciate it. They're not going to do a black toe Jordan 1 retro for years now. So I wanted one. Maybe these hit sale. These might hit sale. So if you were like holding off hoping these hit sale, you might be in luck. These might go to outlets. These might go on sale. Salute to you. I didn't want to risk it. Here's the paper, the rest of the paper. I did not want to risk it, so I was cool paying full price. I was just happy to get them. I woke up, I was in Hawaii at the time. I woke up at 5 in the morning for this drop. Set the alarm, woke up, copped. I'm happy with that. The only other black toe release is actually the Union Jordan 1 black toes from, was that 2019? Speaking of which, I went to the raffle in LA today to pick up a raffle ticket for the Chicago Union ones. Put in the work. I'm setting alarms in Hawaii at 5 a.m. I'm going downtown. Well, not downtown, but like, you know, La Brea Avenue in LA, waiting in a 2-hour godforsaken line in the heat with people. Getting raffle tickets, you know, so those of you who complain, I never hit on anything. You got to put in a little bit of work. I see a lot of people complain who don't do the bare minimum. I'm doing the bare minimum here, and, you know, it's not nothing. It was cool though. Chris Gibbs was at the store. I checked out the store. I copped a shirt from their latest drop. Quick plug for the Lowheat show, my podcast. Quick plug. If you subscribe and watch that, the next one, I'll put in some pictures from the line and stuff. I'll talk more about the drop and my thoughts and the release. Maybe by then, by the time it's posted, I'll know if I hit or not. But I picked up a shirt there. They said they were handing out golden tickets to be able to buy the shoes immediately. I was kind of low-key hoping if I bought a t-shirt in the Union shop right there, that maybe I'd have, you know, maybe they'd slip me one, but no dice. You know, but Chris Gibbs was there. They had a cool setup. Again, I'll include photos in the Lowheat show if you follow, and check that out. They had a cool setup with all of Union's releases. They were displaying, of course, the Union Jordan 1 Chicago's that are dropping, plus the sample color, the blue ones they were displaying on display there. But yeah, that was the last time we had a retro, and then 2016. That wasn't a retro, of course. That was a collab. I'll try these on quick. Comes with all the laces. I think the original 85s had a white tongue, but I think these in the photos maybe had a black tongue, and that's why they kept it black tongue. Yeah. Ooh. Oh yeah, there's the signature on the inner side there. My very best Michael Jordan. Yeah, here's take a look. No signature on the right shoe. No signature on the right shoe. Midsole is sail. Kind of fits with the reimagined versions. There's the back. The look at the back. There's the outsole. But yeah, what was I saying? He wore these black toes in a few games. He mainly wore the Chicago's. He did wear these a couple times though. So yeah, if you're interested in like collecting all of the original 1985 colorways, they're very attainable right now. The only expensive ones are really the Lost and Founds that I'm taking off right here. The Lost and Founds, which are like, you know, anywhere from used in the 300s, 400s to brand new 500s to 600s, maybe even 400s. And then those new bread ones, those are expensive, of course, but that's it. Every other colorway, for the most part, that they've done recently, except some of the metallic colorways. They haven't retroed a handful of those. But everything else, they've retroed, and they are very affordable. The neutral gray lows, the metallic navy lows, most of the entire run has been released in the last decade and is affordable. So I have most of them. I've unboxed most of them on this channel. Check them out. This year they're going to do a reimagined UNC also, because it's the 40th anniversary of the Jordan 1. They're going to do a reimagined version. I think it's going to be very similar to these Lost and Found. It's going to have, I think, like softer tumbled leather, cracked leather like this. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm fine with the Chicago Jordan 1 being that way, and the storytelling they did with that and the packaging. With the UNC one, I rather have they just do the 85 version of the UNC. I know not everyone's a fan of this, but I'm a fan of like doing it to spec as best as possible, kind of like what they did with these or the recent black and red ones, the premium ones, the limited ones. I'd rather have them do that. Now that I've had a taste for it, these are fine. I like these a lot, but like doing this for the UNCs, I don't know. They're going to do these a ton, right? This is so popular. It makes a ton of money for them. They're going to do the Chicago's, so they need to find different variations of the Chicago to do to keep people buying them and keep them special. The UNCs, they're only going to drop those every 9 years. So, you know, let's do the 85 version of those. Whatever. Either way, I'm going to cop them. I'll pick them up because I'm trying to, you know, complete the colorway collection for the Jordan 1. So I will be grabbing them. But that would be my preference, would be the 85 version. We'll check them out, though. We'll try to cop. Hopefully, they'll be as easy as these to cop. And, you know, we'll give our review. We'll give our unboxing. Again, subscribe. So these feel like Jordan 1s. I recommend going true to size. If you're stuck in a bind or something's on sale or only available, you can go half size down. That is fine. It's one of the few shoes you can go half size down in. Also, you can, of course, go half size up. I have these Lost and Founds currently I was wearing are half size up. They feel fine, not too big, just a little extra room. But I always go, if I can, true to size in Jordan 1s. For me, that's perfect. True to size. There's just like a slight bit of room. Not too much, not too little. It's just right. Go figure. True to size is just right for me. But yes, it's one of the few shoes I can go half size down. I think I'm going to rock the red laces. I think that's the move for me, at least in these. I like contrasting laces usually, so I'll probably go red laces in these. Overall, as far as a rating, I like what they did here. Again, they're gonna, I guess maybe they'll do these slightly more often than like a UNC. This is one of the original 3 colorways, so I'm fine with them switching it up, doing the Air Jordan on the side instead of the wings, doing the little hidden signature there, switching up the tongue. I'm okay with that. Doesn't necessarily detract from my rating, doesn't give it a huge boost, kind of nets out even. I will say, quality though, I love paying less. It was nice to only pay $180 for a pair of Jordans, especially like what was thought to be hyped. Clearly not. I like paying, you know, less, but it does kind of show up in the quality. I'm not expecting big things, but just 180 bucks. I wanted to clear the floor. These barely cleared the floor for me in quality. Again, I'm gonna wear these, and like after 2 wears, like who cares? I don't. I'm not one of those people. So for me, these had the potential of being like, just in being an original 3 colorway on court. He wore these. Jordan 1, love that shoe. Like, it should be an automatic 9. I will say, for not being for being reimagined and not like the on-court ones, overall, maybe if these were more premium and more limited, maybe then that's fine. I think we get into the 8 point and then the quality issues. I think we're gonna go like 8.9, right underneath a 9, almost a 9. We're gonna go 8.9 for my rating on these. Anyways, please subscribe. I'll be doing a Lowheat show where I'll talk more about the unions, and I'll give my thoughts on those limited black and red Jordan 1s. I'll give my thoughts on those a little bit more in depth now that they've released. They've come and gone. A lot more to talk about. So yeah, check that out. Thanks for watching. Peace.